Hi and welcome to my channel. Today we are tackling one of the questions that I get asked most often as a prenatal yoga teacher, and that is it healthy, is it safe, and is it sane to practice yoga inversions while you are pregnant? So I'm talking about poses like handstand, headstand, forearm stand, shoulder stand, and all of the variations around those poses. Before we get into it, I'm Erica. I am a yoga teacher who specializes in all things yoga and mindfulness for moms. I'm also a mom of two, so I have done this myself a time or two. And I love sharing how yoga and mindfulness and all of the tools that I've learned on my yoga mat have helped me through pregnancy and through mom life. If that sounds something like you could use a little bit more of in your life, take a minute to hit subscribe. It means so much to me. And know that we're going to be talking about some frequently asked questions around pregnancy yoga in the upcoming weeks. So if you're newly pregnant, if you know someone who is newly pregnant, if you're thinking about becoming pregnant one day, or if you're a yoga teacher who teaches pregnant women, you're going to want to make sure that you subscribe, click on that bell so you'll be notified of all of the new videos that I'm posting. And don't worry, we're gonna throw in some yoga practice videos as well to keep us feeling fit and strong and healthy. No, I am a yoga teacher. I'm not a doctor or a midwife, and the opinions that I'm sharing are just my own opinions from working with pregnant women and from being pregnant myself and being a yoga practitioner. So please, by all means, before you take my advice, before you take the advice of anyone on the internet, talk to your doctor, talk to your midwife, talk to your care provider, the one who is really familiar with your own pregnancy, and go from there. So let's get into today's topic. Before we really dive into it, let's just get on the same page about what a yoga inversion is. So the textbook definition is anytime your heart goes above your head. And so by that definition, even postures like downward facing dog, uttanasana or standing forward bend, or wide-legged standing forward bends would all be considered to be inversion. There are some teachers who would say that even those should be off limits for pregnant women. I am not one of those teachers. I actually find that it can be really beneficial for moms to be in a position where they're kind of undoing the effect of gravity that walking around and being upright can have on their body. It can make their spine grow a little bit longer or taller for a moment. It can take some of the pressure, the downward pressure of the baby off of the pelvis, and it can just feel really like a great relief. Some people would say it would also help with the positioning of the baby. But don't take my word for it. There is a study that I really like, which I will link to down below, where they looked into whether downward facing dog, among a few other poses, is healthy for pregnant women who are just in a normal, healthy pregnancy. So is it okay to practice handstand and headstand and forearm stand when you are pregnant? The answer is kind of it depends. So if you were a marathon runner before you were pregnant, the doctors and the nurses and the people that you would talk to would probably say it is safe and healthy for you to continue running throughout your pregnancy. You may have to slow down a little bit, you may have to log a few fewer miles than you were before, but it's a safe, healthy thing for you and your baby to continue your exercise that you were doing prior to your pregnancy. The same is pretty much true for the advanced yoga postures, and I'll tell you why. So you would never, ever in a million years expect to go into a prenatal yoga class geared toward all phases of pregnancy and all skill levels. So very beginners, as well as people who have been practicing yoga for a while. You would never expect to be kicking up into handstand in the middle of the room or even at a wall for that type of class, because it's just not safe for people who are brand new to the practice to start inverting. It might be okay, however, if you have been doing handstands for 10 years before and you have the kind of control that maybe you would see in those videos on Instagram of the really strong mom who can float effortlessly up into an inversion. This is not the way it looks when you are learning. When you are learning handstands for the first time, there will be lots of kicking and flinging just to get your feet up and over your head. And so that's just a part of the learning process. Pregnancy is not a really good time for that kind of learning. There are a lot of reasons for that. The biggest one being that your center of gravity changes daily during pregnancy, right? Things are shifting, things are growing, and what felt good for you one day and balanced and strong may not feel so good and balanced and strong the next day. And so most pregnant women, when if they haven't been practicing yoga and these strong inversions for many years prior, are just not going to have the body control to go slow and steady and press themselves up in the way that they would need to keep themselves safe. So that's my answer. Yes, for most pregnant women, inversions like handstand are contraindicated. Not a good idea. Not because it shifts the baby within the womb or anything like that, but because the risk of falling is too high. Moms who have been doing it for years and years prior, who know that they have the control to lift themselves up slowly and cautiously, it might be okay, but please have a spotter nearby, do it close to a wall just in case. If you enjoyed this, if you found it helpful, please take a moment, click on that like button. Let me know down in the comments any questions that you have about yoga during pregnancy. Let me know if you felt comfortable or if you feel comfortable doing these types of poses during your pregnancy. And I hope that you will join us back next week for another video. Thank you so much, and namaste.